This is still the press on KAFTAN Television, and welcome back, and thank you for staying there. Well, it's going to get interesting this morning because I'm being joined by a legal practitioner who will help us make sense of all the headlines that's made it to our national dailies. And he joins me live in the studio. He goes by the name Uthman Isa Pochuku. He's a legal practitioner, and of course you should know what you should expect. You know what you should expect when I have a lawyer, a legal practitioner with me on the morning show. It's going to be back to back. So gentlemen, it's a pleasure to have you, and thank you for coming. Thank you so much indeed for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Well, let's begin with because the last 1 week has been about the tragedy that occurred in Benue, and 2 days ago the president visited the states where that incident happened. But people, or some of his political opponents, have come out to kick against his visit. Peter B kicked against his Atiku did, and Prince Adebayo Adewale, who said they've said that his visit lacked empathy.
I think differently. And I don't expect anything much from the opposition aside, criticizing the president, whether good or bad. So it's normal from the opposition. But I think that the ideal thing to do is what the president had done, right? But the visit is not enough.
Okay.
We need a decisive action against these people. They are terrorizing the state, and they should be considered as enemies of state. I heard the president charging the chief of defense staff and the chief of army staff and also the IG of police to get those miscreants arrested and deal with them decisively. That is fine. But I do not think is that when a law has been broken, you need a presidential directive to do your work. Okay. You do not need any presidential directive to do it. The IG of police, the chief of defense staff, the chief of army staff should go to the field and do their job. They should get these guys arrested and deal with them decisively. You don't need the president to give you an order to do your job. A law, there have been breakdown of law and order in Benue State. There have been so many unrest and bloodbath in Benue State, and you are waiting for presidential directive before you do your job. That's my own take. I don't think the president was wrong in visiting. His visit was right, and it was the right thing to have been done. But I think that more needs to be done to bring back to normalcy in Benue State.
Okay, but then also the defense chief has also said that has accused the residents of harboring these people who have caused this havoc, and also giving them food. Does that make any meaning to you?
I don't think that the chief of defense staff, with all due respect, is very correct, because these people have been calling. You see, there is something interesting about Benue incidents. Before it happens, they will always alert the security operatives that something is about to happen. But you see these security operatives being laxity. They will show laxity, they will not show care until when it happens. They will now start saying that they are harboring them. They are not harboring them. They are willing and ready to expose these people, and that is why each time they give them information, they give the security operative information that something is about to happen, they don't take proactive actions. They wait until it happens, and then they will not begin to speak English on top of the whole issue. I think the problem is that our security operatives do not want to solve this problem, because if you look at the security architecture of Nigeria, the National Security Advisor has all the telegas of Nigeria. The Nigerian Army has the maps of Nigeria. They know where these guys are. They should go and ferret them out and deal with them decisively. What are you waiting for the locals to do for you? The locals should not do your job for you. You are the chief security officer of the state. You have the governor, you have the president, who is the commander-in-chief of the armed forces, and you are not commanding anything. You have the chief of army staff, who has all the Nigeria map on his desk, and he's not able to fetch these guys. Wherever they are hiding, they should get them in their hideout and deal with them decisively. They shouldn't blame anybody in Benue State.
But aside Benue State, we've seen insecurity. I don't know if it's right to say it does look like these terrorists are beginning to power security agencies. God forbid it is so. But then let's talk about security generally in Nigeria as a nation. You don't seem to agree or believe that the security agencies are doing enough work.
If they are doing enough work, we should be seeing it. if they are doing enough work in terms of fighting the insecurity, we should be seeing it. But of course, you need to understand that in governance generally, the cardinal principle of every government is the security of life and properties of the citizens. Once you are failed in that angle, every other thing will not hold. And as far as I'm concerned, this government have not done well in terms of security of lives and properties. Look at Benue State, for instance. Look at what is happening in Maiduguri, for instance. What have they done? Boko Haram is coming back after how many years of defeating Boko Haram in Maiduguri? They are striking back again. Look at Zamfara. So these are issues, and I think that government is being complicit in this whole issue. Because like Abacha would say that if insecurity happens for more than 24 hours, government has a hand in it. I'm not trying to indict anybody, but I'm saying that government need to do more to secure Nigerians. What is the average life of Nigeria in this situation? An average Nigerian is responsible for his own security because government cannot care for you. It's very unfortunate, and I think that government needs to do more. Government should stop blaming anybody because we have submitted our sovereignty to you to protect our lives. If you cannot protect our lives, it is time for you to give up the seat. Let people who can protect our life come and take over the mantle of leadership and protect our lives. You can't talk about the economy, you can't talk about employment, you can't talk about power without security. Security comes first before every other thing in governance.
When you say the government hasn't done more or hasn't done enough, what more would you advise, or what other strategy do you think should be adopted? Should they adopt to because when we can't say funding is the problem. We've seen just the 2025 budgets. We can see how many billions was budgeted or was allocated to military. So since funding is no longer the problem, what other strategy do you think should be adopted to be able to tackle insecurity?
Government should liaise with the locals. They should liaise with the chiefs in various states, right, to strategize on how to fight insecurity. Because I believe, and this is my view, this is my opinion, anybody can differ, I believe that this thing that is happening in Benue State, for instance, right, people within the community can help fight it by liaising with the authorities and trying to fetch out these people. They know themselves. They cannot say that these people killing everybody in Benue State, that they are unidentifiable. There are people that are well known to some of these locals. They should go and liaise with the chiefs in the village, in all those places, for them to get them from their hideout. There is more that government can do. There is more they can do to fetch out these guys. They should stop giving reasons why it is impossible for them to fight insecurity in Nigeria.
Okay, what happens to our borders? Because we know of another group of terrorists known as Lakurawas, and there's been argument that majority of these terrorists are not Nigerians. Some of them have migrated from Mali, Burkina Faso, and the rest of it. This brings us to the question that talks about the security in our border sector. So what do you make out of the borders, the Nigerian borders?
Do you now see what we're talking about? If truly they could be identified as not being Nigerians, how did they get into the country? The Nigerian Immigration Service should be blamed for this. How do they profile their data to get into Nigeria and start troubling Nigeria? I think there is the National Security Advisor has to do enough work to make sure that our border is being protected, and also the Nigerian Immigration Service should do proper profiling of people who come into the country through our borders and all of that. If our border is not well secured, honestly, we cannot even talk of tackling this insecurity. But I think that what is happening is that government is not willing to fight insecurity in Nigeria. If they are willing, they know what to do, because they have all the security apparatus, they have the architecture, they have all the financing and funding to take care of insecurity in Nigeria.
So the life of common Nigeria doesn't matter to the government. That's
like I've said, you are responsible for your own security.
But
we are all responsible for our own security. It shouldn't be so. It shouldn't be so. But what do we do if you find yourself in this situation where government lack compassion and lack care, duty of care to take care of its citizens? Then the citizens should rise up and take care of themselves. I heard what one pastor was saying in Benue State, and I truly support it. If the government is not ready to secure your life, everybody should rise up and secure themselves.
In what way? In what way can they actually do that?
When you see something, you say something. Right? When you see something, you say something. If something is happening around, if you see any strange movement within your environment, you should allow the security operatives. You should be able to rise up and secure yourself. You know, you shouldn't go out when you are not supposed to go out. When you see any strange something in your environment, you should be able to say, this is strange something, and contact the security operative to secure you.
Well, that's interesting. That's where it leads us to when they say security is everybody's business. Like I earlier said, be cautious of where you go, places you go, the things you do. If you notice any unusual movements in your environment, do well to report to the appropriate authorities. And at this point, I will remind you that phone lines are now open for you to call in to join the conversation. Well, we have another interesting headline that talks about there's been so much happening in the political space. We've seen people decamp from various political parties to APC, and it has kept Nigerians wondering. It does look like Nigeria wants to become a one-party state, though the presidency has come out to debunk that. No, APC is not trying to make Nigeria a one-party state. It's there will always be opposition party. But looking at what is going on, I have a question, but we have a caller here before we continue. Hello, good morning. Glad to have you join us on the program.
Good morning.
Good morning. Glad to have you. Your name and where you're calling us from?
I'm from Lagos.
Your what?
Chidi from Lagos.
Okay, Chidi from Lagos. Please go ahead.
Okay. Nice program. What happened is when we talk of people helping themselves.
Okay.
Your guest is supposed to. He gave only one reason. Say something. But he has not. I don't want to use the word that is economical with truth.
Okay.
How do I mean? One, let's go to the root. One of the reasons why many people don't report things is that at times the reporter becomes a victim.
Okay.
They may go to tell security officials some things or some locations about crime or even corruption in government or all this looting going on. At the end of the day, those people, you will become a victim because those people will be free. You will find yourself battling. That's one of the root causes until this thing is addressed very well. You may not be getting information from Nigerians. That's number one.
Okay.
Number two, I want to ask, apart from law enforcement agencies in Nigeria, people like the police, DSS, military, Navy, and co, are individuals licensed to be carrying AK-47, AK-49? People like the, I don't want to, because when we talk, they say it's ethnic profiling. Let's say the people that are carrying out this mass killing in Enugu, also one, in Plateau, in Benue, in all these places. So, these people carrying gun, AK-47, AK-49. So are they licensed to be carrying gun?
Okay.
If not, if it is still a crime in Nigeria to be carrying gun, then we have to blame the security agencies for not doing their job.
Okay.
It means they don't want to do the job. Let's call it spade. They have not come and deceive ourselves in the national TV. The truth is that they're not licensed to carry gun, and they're carrying gun. So the agencies should know it's an offense. Secondly, everybody knows they were pointing out that these people are assembled between Benue and Nasarawa border. They move in the night with over 100 motorcycles with guns and ammunition. My brother, Nigeria have a lot of security checkpoints all over Nigeria. If you go to the east, you have hundreds of it everywhere. So are we saying that such things movement will be going on, nobody spots it? So I think when we say all these things, we make ourselves mockery in the eyes of the world as if we don't know the truth. The proper solution, let us not overflow this issue, is ranking. Many countries in the world have more cows than Nigeria has. Some have 200 million cows, 500 million cows, but they cannot sit on the street. So we that have less than 50 million are paying the price for the cow with human lives. So what I'm trying to say in essence is that government government should encourage ranching. This is a private business, for God's sake. Most of you, even that station you are, your organization, maybe they borrow money or they acquire money to rent that place, give that place and establish the station. This is on the government sees and explain to these herdsmen and their owners that one, you are running a private business. You should not hold another person. If you come down a place you like it, you two things you can do. You can approach the state government and say, please, allocate us land. We want to do ranching. Government will graciously give, even if it's in Abuja or in Lagos. Government will give you, you pay. Or you can use your money and to buy land and ranch. When if you buy that ranch, there is more fun because nobody will be rustling your cows. The children that are taking care of this thing, the government can build schools for them there. They can be going to school, they can be taking care of their house. You have seen a lot of things. Okay. You get more products. So their security, you are secure, you are more protected, you are better.
Okay.
So let us, this is we are doing as if it don't have a solution. This thing has a very simple solution. Don't go to people's ancestral land and kill them and want to take the land for us. It is wrong. Okay. Let's tell the truth.
Thank you very much for your contribution and have yourself a wonderful day. I want you to react to
I think he's narrowing the problem to Fulani herdsmen.
Okay.
But even the chiefs in Benue State have come out to say that it is not Fulani.
Okay, so who?
They say that it is not Fulani. I don't know who they say is killing them. If they say it's not Fulani, it boils down to what I have suggested before. The security chief should go and liaise with these traditional rulers in the state.
But there's another interesting question that every Nigerians are asking. You say, how did these people get arms? Number two, people have also come out to say that when it comes to insecurity, a lot of time it is being politicized.
Like what I said. I said here on this program this morning that government is complicit with what is happening. Why? Because you cannot bear arms as an individual. And these people has AK-47, just like what he did, and I agree with him. He said that the government allowed them to bear arms. They are individual. You should get them arrested and recover the arms, recover all the ammunition that is in their possession.
But who supplies them arms? Another interesting question.
If you ask me now, who I go ask? That's what Naomi sang in his song. So I don't know who is supplying them arms, and that is why government is lacking in its integrity to protect lives in Nigeria.
All right, thank you very much, and we'll have another caller here. A very beautiful morning, and glad to have you join us on the program. Your name and where you're calling us from?
Good morning, KAFTANTV. My name is John from Abuja.
Good morning. Please tune down the volume of your TV set.
All right, I've done that.
All right, thank you. Please go ahead.
All right, my take on this issue is that I'm totally in agreement with your guest this morning.
Okay.
In fact, he has said exactly what is happening in Nigeria. We all know it. We all know what is happening in this country. If our politicians have the political will to tackle insecurity in this country, they will do it. And that points to the fact that if they are not willing to tackle it, it means they have hands in it. Because what is happening in Benue is not headers farmers clash. If it is headers farmers clash, how many headers have they killed? How many farmers have they killed? They will know who, like what happened in Osun State, two communities clashing. These people killed, they fight each other, they destroyed each other until they went and settled it. But this is an agenda of people just invading these villagers, killing them, burning their houses, driving them away from their villages, so that they will come and take over their land. This is land grabbing, and it is being sponsored by some people. Because these attackers are like mercenaries that are hired to come and attack these people. Benue is known for food production state in Nigeria. They don't rear cattle. So they are just using headers farmers class. Those that are calling it headers farmers class, they know what is surrounding this issue. They are just giving it farmers headers. It's not any farmers headers clash.
Okay.
If it is farmers headers clash, it will be a different thing.
All right.
What is going on in Benue State is an agenda to grab land. So my concern about this is that the governor of Benue State, you are the governor of Benue State, you are the chief security of that state. These people elected you to protect them. And now they have been killing them. This has been going on for years. And you coming in, still, you don't have any strategy to communicate, to liaise with those village heads and find a way to tackle this. You always calling for the federal government. But the president will not leave Abuja to come and help you in your local village. Okay. You know, you are closer to your people, so you should know what to do. You don't need to announce it. Just find a strategy. How will you tackle this issue? These are not the neighbors, the Fulani people that are staying with you. These are invaders. They are mercenaries that are coming. So you should tackle. You should know what to do as a governor. If you cannot do it, someone that is willing to tackle, you should come in.
All right. Thank you very much for that, and have yourself a wonderful day ahead. So you said something before that. I asked a question. I say, who supplies these terrorist arms?
That's what the same question I'm going to ask you. If I know who supplies them as, I won't be here to tell you that I don't know. I would rather go and advise the government accordingly and have them do their job properly. But that shows the deficit, the top deficit in governance. Our government and security chiefs do not have, it's either they do not have what it takes to protect us, or they don't want to protect us. Because if they want to protect us, they should have data of how many ammunitions are outside their control. And when they do that, they should have a means through which they can recover them back. And because of that, they lack the will and they lack the control of the ammunitions outside their control, and that's why we're here. We find ourselves in this place. So, and it is making you to making you to agree that government has a hand in what is going on in the country. Because if they are the supplier of arms, licensed arms, and they allow individuals who are not security operative to have possession of some of these arms, then it will leave you with no other option than to say that government is complicit with what is happening in Nigeria. So
you would agree with people who have argued that security in this nation is being politicized?
Definitely.
Lots of politicians people have
alleged. I quoted Abacha here that he said if any insecurity has happened for more than 24 hours, if you allow it to last for more than 24 hours, government has a hand in it. It's not me that said it.
All right, we'll have another caller here. Hello, good morning. Glad to have you join us on the program. If you can hear me, good morning. Oh, you might have to call us back. Okay, let's see some interesting headlines that is going on in the political space. Tinubu to choose running mate after convention. This is according to presidency, and I'm wondering.
I don't know why Tinubu have to choose running mate.
I thought we already had a running mate for the vice president.
You see, 2027 will be most interesting. Very, very much interesting, because I don't know what is going to happen to Kashim Shettima if he drops him as his running mate in 2027.
But why would you want to drop Kashim Shettima? Sorry, we have another caller here. Let's hear from this caller before we forge ahead. Good morning. Glad to have you join us on the program. Your name and where you're calling us from?
Yeah, my name is Oscar. I'm calling from Guarimpa.
Okay, please go ahead.
Okay, a brief one. On the last topic, I think we said much about the insecurity in them as a case study. And based on the last caller, everything boils down to the fact that what we have happening in the axis of Benue Plateau, it boils down to land grabbing. That is the bottom line. We talk about weapons, security, and all that. These are the scenarios. It's not like somebody having arms somewhere that hanging around. It comes, you see how the jobs they are done. They are similar pattern. You don't need too much of military intelligence to know this. You get this set of individuals, you give them the necessary tools, and it's easy. It's not like you have, when you call politicians, it's not like they have arms somewhere. No. Mercenary jobs. Once you give them assignment, they know where to get the arms. They have contractors for all this things that is happening. So the bottom line is this: same the pattern over time. You saw what has happened in the past 6, 7, 8 months within Plateau and Benue. They come in, they burn down communities, they kill these members of the community. They are sent out. Now, if you have listened very well, some of these places are occupied. The fear of a town being raided 2-3 times have made many of them not be able to go back.
Okay.
I mean, at the end of the day, you're talking of a particular community, the last one. Of what political interest is it to us? Unfortunately, where the politicians are being held responsible is the fact that they never take it serious. And you see, we talked about the security structure we have failing us. It's failing the people. There's no way about it. Imagine the CDS. He made a statement last week about 3 reasons he feels this is necessary. And he actually said he failed because he said the military, they don't have power to do certain things, which is obviously wrong. Unfortunately, like we said, the politicians are not standing up. They're interested in self-interest, maintain power and have access to the treasury. So that's where the politicians are failing. And you know, at the end of the day, you hear people say, let the people protect themselves. Why are they scared of allowing people protect themselves? Because I know very well the DSS has made it in 2 different forums when it talked about community protecting themselves. We gave an example of a local government somewhere in Balewa in Bauchi State. Nobody dares go to those areas. How do they protect themselves? They do it. So it has come to say, when you see people say self-defense, it's still these politicians that will still discourage the people from protecting themselves. It's been like this for how many years? Okay. At the end of the day, security structure has failed them. So what you have basically in many of those places, bottom line, I think I listened to the Tortip still make that statement. All that cover of farmer header is just a cover to achieve whatever it is that is happening. Those communities go there now in Plateau and Benue. Many of those communities are deserted, but you have people staying there. It's not for us to begin to say, it's a fact that it's there. It will continue. The only thing that will happen now, they're going to be quiet for a while. You see, you are deploying troops, you are deploying tactical command. You go and do what? Who are the killers? They are 100 kilometers away from the scene of the killing. So it's very intelligent coming. They're supposed to be picking certain people up, but we don't see anything like that. Watch. In the next 3, 4, 5 months, nothing will happen. Those people have their agenda. Until you begin to use your intelligence to pick out those elements and begin to deal with that issue, it will fester. We keep treating the manifestation. We always run away from the roots. The effect is what we are saying. We'll do it for a few months, and that it will continue. It's not like saying anything negative until we come to the real fact that this is what is happening. Nothing will change. Self-defense is the only way. Unfortunately, politicians don't want it because it will not fail them.
All right. Thank you very much for your contribution, and have yourself a wonderful day ahead. Okay, back to what you were saying.
Yes, I was talking about Shettima not being the vice president in 2027. And I was trying to say that, look, if Tinubu drops Shettima in 2027, it's going to be another backlash for APC. You know why? Why? Because Shettima would not be happy, and Shettima would want to fight back. There is no single reason why he has to drop Shettima. There is no single reason why he has to drop Shettima. And look at it like this. He ran on a Muslim ticket in 2023, which brought him and Shettima as president and vice president respectively. Now, in 2027, if he drops Shettima, who is he going to pick? A Christian from the south or a Christian from the north? If he picks a Christian from the north is going to kick against it. The north will not vote for a Christian northerner. And that will make the politics of 2027 interesting. Because of the arrays of political arrangement in the country, the north will not allow their own son to be dropped and they pick a Christian northerner. The north will not vote for such tickets. And I don't know how Tinubu is going to I don't know how he's going to work it out on his chessboard, but it's going to be an interesting time. Let's see. I don't want to preempt him. It may still be the same Shettima that is going to pick after the convention. So we should not preempt the president. We should not preempt the president.
Right. Interesting. Hello. Beautiful morning, and glad to have you join us here on the program. Your name and where you're calling us from?
Yeah. I don't want to say this in and move out. This is cheap. Just want to chip in 1 second.
Okay.
Please, yeah, this is doing a fantastic job. But in this security issue, I want to bring another dimension because I know your team is widely viewed. Like me, I'm doing it in Lagos, and I know that our security operatives, government officials, that listen also.
Right.
So our contributions will help a lot. And nobody have all the knowledge. They may not know all these things, but as we are saying it, they'll be hearing it and they'll be noting it down.
Okay.
Okay, so one of the things I'm trying to say that it's high time that our borders are properly secure.
Okay.
Our borders in Cameroon, Niger, Chad, and all these places. It's possible. There is nothing wrong in, although it is counter-intensive, there is nothing wrong in building a wall. We can know that, we will know exactly, if we say it's not flying herdsmen and all this, we will know who is attacking us. Security, it is like a house, doesn't have a door. It is everybody, it is all commerce affair. But if you have war or serious security in your, and we can even use drones to man all these places. If you are coming to Nigeria, you must be properly vetted, especially from all these porous borders. Things going out and coming in. Let us not say because this part of Nigeria has cousins and sisters in the other side. Therefore, we should open it up so that they can be coming to in our house. No. Everybody should know who is coming to his house. Then on in 2027, we say, yes, Shetima has been a good advice. But I think that President Tinubu knows he has good intentions, but I think people around him are not really helping matters. You think he was correct. God will help me, I pray. He will have to correct the positive this thing. Correct this one. Second, we must balance that thing with the Christian candidate. You can't tell me who knows there's no good Christian. They are put together and say, not these people. If you balance it, because I know you want to leave a good legacy. So he can, it's not, Shetima cannot understand that. That thing that happened, even I've talked with both Muslims and Christians and Northerners and Fulanis. They themselves are not happy with that Muslim, because when you are talking of national position, every faith, even traditional worshippers, even Muslims, Christians, everybody, nobody should be maligned, nobody should be, nobody should have dominance over any other place. Secondly, for the same thing, that's why I said two things he must correct in 2027. He must balance that ticket with the Christian ticket. Secondly,
please, you have to round up to enable others join the conversation.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, thank you very much.
You see, like what he's saying, I'm less interested about politics of tribalism, politics of religion, politics of region. I'm interested in politics of competence. I'm interested in politics of character. I'm interested in politics of capability, regardless of wherever you come from, as far as you're in Nigeria. I don't mind Christian ticket. I don't mind Muslim ticket. I don't mind even Southeast president and vice president at the same time, if they are competent to lead Nigeria. But because the arrangement has started like this, we must continue on this trend until we have a disruption, a political disruption that is going to, rigid Nigeria political architecture and position it to its right direction. Now, if he drops Shetima in 2027, as I was saying, let me not leave my train of thought. If he drops Shetima in 2027, the North are going to revolt against him, because the North will not allow him to drop their own.
I heard you say he wants to drop Shetima because of the Muslim ticket. But the Muslim ticket was what took them to office. So why the change of mind?
That's what, politicians, they don't think like the way we think. Politicians think in a different way with different interests on board. Like what the caller just said now. I don't know if you want to take that call.
Okay, Godwin from Abia. Hello, good morning, Godwin from Abia State. Glad to have you join us on the program. Please, you have 60 seconds.
Okay, good morning, my dear. I'm happy hearing what your guest is saying. But the question that you asked, and I want to repeat as well. He said that if Shetima is dropped, that is that the North will not be happy for them dropping their son. So does it mean that there is no other person in the North as a Christian that is also a northern son? Because I know in the North there are so many Christians. I have met so many of them.
The question is, why can't Shetima do 8 years? Why? What is wrong?
No,
with
allow him. I think you allow him. Okay, please go ahead. He will take you. You will respond.
The North will not be happy if they drop their son. So does it mean that there is no Christian in the North who is also a Northern son that is capable and eligible for that position?
All right. Thank you very much.
No, the question he should ask is why dropping Shettima when he has not done 8 years? Shettima is entitled to 8 years.
Is an entitlement? Is it, you said entitlement?
Oh, of course, it's entitlement. It's an entitlement because the Constitution says you can run for first term and you have the liberty to run for second term. Now, if your boss is running for second term, why is your boss dropping you? So it becomes a right for him to follow his boss to run for the second term. So you are now dropping him to go and pick another candidate from the same region. It's going to be tough.
How tough? But before then, let's hear from Raymond. Raymond from Jos. Glad to have you join us on the program. Please go ahead. You have 60 seconds. Raymond, are you there? Oh, hello, Raymond from Jos.
I'm here. I'm with you.
All right, please go ahead.
This call will be uploaded to the cloud synchronization.
It's not
whether to continue with this call.
Okay.
It's all about capability. If the president feels he's not capable for that position, you can drop it.
Okay.
I support South tickets, North-East, North-West, anywhere, as long as the candidates are capable. But the problem with our politicians, they are not for their citizens, but for their interests.
Okay.
So that is why our political landscape is not good for now. But when the citizen vote for competency, they do not vote for religion and the rest. That is where we'll get it right.
Okay.
Why would they not cry if Shettima is not capable or competent? There are so many good leaders there in the North all over Nigeria. Please, let's vote for who is capable that will lead Nigeria forward. Thank you. Have a good day in Abuja.
Thank you very much, Ray from Jos. And
I don't know if I can take it from what his submission. He made a submission that if Shettima is not capable, I do not think that somebody should be judging the ticket based on the vice president. It is the president that you judge the ticket from. You don't judge presidential ticket from the vice president because office of the vice president is dormant until when the office of the president is vacant or not performing. The president is up and doing. What do you expect Shettima to do? Shettima is one of the most capable vice president anybody could think of in Nigeria. I'm telling you, one of the most capable vice president anybody could think of is Shettima. Now, if he drops Shettima,
but why? What gave you that conviction? How can you, how can you argue that? Or
you see, the question is, if he drops Shettima, there will be trouble. And take it from me, if he drops Shettima in 2027,
what kind of trouble? What trouble exactly?
Trouble for him. He may not even get back to the presidency because of that. Because I'm very sure Shettima is going to fight back. Shettima have not done anything that would deserve the president to drop him from his running mate. Shettima deserves a second term, just like the president is looking for second term. So he cannot drop Shettima and pick another person. When is the Muslim ticket that brought him in the first place?
Maybe the reason why he won the election, the proper
exactly. The reason why he won the election was because of Shettima's combination. You don't know. You don't know that the reason why Tinubu won election in 2023 was because of Shettima's combination. Now he tested Shettima and he wants to drop him and bring another person. If he brings another person, that ticket is going to have issue. And I'm telling you,
I mean, is that the reason why the North seemed aggrieved with the president?
I don't know whether it's part of the reason.
So, but what then is the reason? What then is the reason?
I don't know. I don't know. I'm not in the account.
Hello, good morning. Glad to have you join us on the program.
Hello, how are you?
Good morning. Very well, thank you. Please go ahead. Your name and where you're calling us from.
I'm calling from Borno State.
You're calling from where?
Borno State.
Borno State. All right, please go ahead.
Thank you. Good morning, all.
Morning to you.
And the issue of Shettima and fellow presidents, if I suggest if there is any person to be changed, as I suggest the president, but not the vice president. Because the vice president is superior than any other vice president we ever had before in Nigeria. Imagine being a vice president. You can't perform his task as a vice president. It is his task as well. There is performance eventually being a loyal, honest, patriotic citizen. So if there's any person to be changed, there's the president, but not the vice president. Vice president is the person that goes into power, that goes into power. We all know. Just like the person outside you said, this is mistakenly so Shetima and pick another person. I'm telling you, the president will go. We have no vote. This is the reality. So the only solution is to let him carry Shetima along and go together with him. Also, we know this is not Nigeria. When the president is going for the second term, the vice president must go for the second term.
All right. Thank you very much. And
let me tell you, Mercy, if Tinubu must succeed in 2027, he had to repeat that same ticket. Tinubu Shetima. If he must succeed in 2027, he has to repeat Tinubu Shetima ticket. If he drops Shetima in 2027, I can tell you that he will find it tough to go back to the presidency. Take it from me. And I'll come back to this studio to repeat it after election.
Good morning. Glad to have you join us on the program. Your name and where you're calling us from?
My name is Chijoke. I'm calling from Nsukka.
Okay, Chijoke from Nsukka. Please go ahead.
Well, I think your guest is really contradicting himself in this issue of Shetima Tinubu ticket. One, the position of vice presidency, is not elective.
Okay.
It has the discretion of the president and the prerogative of the president to choose his running mate.
Okay.
This sense of entitlement that why shouldn't Shetima do 8 years? It is not automatic. There is no provision in the constitution that says the vice president must do 8 years.
Okay.
Okay? So his submissions that Shetima is the best vice president, I mean, that is sounding political.
Okay.
Because I know there are too many better candidates in the north there, either Muslim or Christian, that can do better than Shetima.
Okay.
So that one is not tenable at all. It is not automatic that Shetima must do 8 years.
All right.
So if Tinubu decides not to choose him, well, it is at his discretion. And of course, if he drops Shetima, he will not change anything. He won't change the outcome of the 2027 election.
Okay.
After all, nobody gave Tinubu a chance to win 2023 elections.
Okay.
Yes, he bulldozed his way into the presidency. So who is Shetima now to come and stop him? So that is about the Shetima. Then the issue of the security issues in the Benue State, I mean, that one is not farmer clashes. The third chief was very, very explicit. He called it for what it is: land grabbing and expansionist agenda by the Fulani. If we are talking about security, those in power know what to do.
All right.
I'm happy the president called out the IGP, the CDS, the NIA, and the DSS people. So let them go and know what is happening. They are the people that are supplying these terrorists, these guns. I remember 2 weeks or 3 weeks ago, the army did the profiling, and some army officers and policemen and politicians were fingered as the suppliers of arms to these terrorists. So why are we pretending as if we don't know what is happening in the country? So if we want to secure our nation, well, the politicians and the security agents know what to do.
All right.
The terrorists can be more informed than our security agencies with all the intels they have from all corners. So, I mean, it's neither here nor there, my sister.
Thank you very much for your contribution and have yourself a wonderful do they not feel entitled to this?
No, nobody is feeling entitled, but politically, right? Politically, did not feel that democracy favors them because of the demographics.
But why then do you think all of a sudden President Bola Ahmed Tinubu wakes up one morning and wants to drop?
I don't know, like he said, it's prerogative of the president. I don't know what is going on between Shetima and his boss. Or
is it because of the the backlash that's been going on between the northern leaders and the presidency recently? Because we've seen the northern leaders.
I can't say. And part of the problem also could be because of the fact you could remember that there was a new building that was commissioned for vice president, like his official residence, and he refused to move in there. It was also part of it. It could be part of it. He refused to move into his official residence built by the president for him, for the reason best known to him. So I don't know. I know that they have been.
Have they not tried communicating to find out what exactly? Or
I don't know. I don't know.
But you're from the north.
Sorry.
You're from the north.
I'm not from the north.
Oh, you're not from the north. Yeah.
I'm an Igbo man. I'm not from the north. In fact, I'm from Usuka. I'm from Igbo, the south.
But you grew up in the north.
I didn't grow up in the north.
You have knowledge.
I didn't grow up in the north. I only studied in the north. I studied in Abu's area, but I'm not from the north. I didn't grow up in the north.
And you don't have idea of whatever is going on in the political space from the northern part.
I don't have.
Are you sure?
All I can tell you, I don't have.
You know why? Why are you smiling?
But I don't have.
I have a feeling that you do.
Well, I don't know. You can't preempt me.
Okay.
You can't preempt me. But what I'm telling you is that it's not Shetima's entitlement, like the last caller said, right? It is the presidential prerogative. The president has the prerogative to elect or to choose any of his running mates as vice president. But I'm telling you that this particular prerogative needs to be exercised with caution, because it's definitely going to affect him. All right.
Okay, we have another caller. Hello, good morning.
Good morning. I'm Ibrahim from Niger State.
Ibrahim from Niger State. Please, could you speak up and tune down the volume of your TV set so we could hear you clearly? Thank you.
With all due respect, I have been listening to your guest, and what he said regarding to insecurity.
Okay.
I concord with everything he has said.
All right.
I'm an addict listener of BBC, Hausa version. You saw what happened in Benin this morning, and with all due respect, PhD, when you have the entire community taking a backlash to the terrorists. This morning it was announced in BBC. So if we are taking responsibility of our own insecurity in our own hands, right, it's going to be very good measures. We don't wait for security we call security to respond. No, we take response to them.
Okay.
Yes. And regarding Tinubu and the Shetima,
all right,
then it's going to be very difficult. Before they make the public understand that they are not going with Shetima, already they are having problem. Shetima will not go back to that office and presidential house, because that house is filled up with cameras everywhere. They are not comfortable with Shetima anymore. Shetima is not comfortable with them.
Okay.
And I see no reason for him to drop him. How many have dropped their vice president in the past? Why should it be Shetima? Muslim ticket brought them in. Why are they shying away from the Muslim ticket?
Okay.
Why?
All right.
They are there as Muslim ticket. The Christians voted for them. Why taking it? Okay, let them try it and let's see what 2027 will look like.
All right, thank you very much. We have to let you go to enable others join the conversation.
This is exactly what I'm saying. When the food is good and the soup is sweet, why change it? What is the problem with the Shetima Tinubu?
Maybe on the long run the soup got sour, or maybe got sour.
But Nigerians are seeing what is happening. If the soup got sour, it is from the president and not the vice president. Okay. It is the president that is driving the ticket and not the vice president. So if the government
so they will not vote for Tinubu if he drops Shetima. Is that what you're saying?
That's what I think.
You think, or
that's my opinion. It's my view. Anybody can differ. Like the second caller had called to differ. That is not a Shetima's prerogative. It is the president prerogative. Yes, it is the president prerogative, but the president is going to find it tough because the reason why he was voted in the first place was because of Shetima's combination. That Muslim ticket was the reason why he was brought into power. So if he drops Shetima to try another ticket, it's going to be tough. And Nigerians will watch out in 2027.
All right. As a legal practitioner, yesterday the court has granted the senator representing Kogi Central, Senator Natasha Potu-Duaha, 50 million naira bail as a defamation. As a legal practitioner, give me your overall perspective of what you think happened yesterday in the Supreme Court. So, would you say, or can we say,
Supreme Court?
Federal High Court?
Federal High Court.
Yes. What is your own assessment of all that played out?
Well, you know, the matter is still sub judice, so I should be cautious of how I make some commentaries on some of these issues, since it's still pending before the court. Bail is generally grantable to all kinds of offenses, except with certain exceptions. When you talk about capital offenses, offenses that attract death penalty are classed as capital offenses. Now, he's being charged for defamation. And defamation, there are two types of defamation. They have civil defamation and criminal defamation, right? I think he's being charged for criminal defamation because federal government is the one prosecuting her. Now, he has been granted bail. She has been granted bail for 50 million naira bail bond. Yes, it's part of the thing that comes with bail terms. If she fulfills the bail terms, she will go and come back any day the matter is being slated for further hearing. And there's nothing strange about what she's passing through. There's nothing strange at all. It's just part of the legal process she has to pass through to clear her names. Yes.
All right. Mazio Karafa from Maroshuku, glad to have you join us this morning. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, my sister. Good morning.
A very beautiful morning.
Now, checkpoint in state, taking all these people that carry food from village to the urban areas. Honestly speaking, it is the highest time governors, local government chairmen, councillors, cancel all those tax force. Let me give the national example. Water. I planted Ugu in my own compound. I carried up to 5 to the market to sell. Now, the woman made me say, no, it's not possible that they have union. And I should go and see the chairman of the union before they collect this to sell. I said, what? Something has come to by myself to sell. Then I lie. Now tell me, union, inside market, this that is something I want to do this. Give away price. At the end of the day, I assume the area, the government impose this policy and it's better for us so that food stuffs will be very cheap in the market. I found the president that we are doing what they do.
All right.
Have a pleasant and good weekend.
Thank you to Mazura Okra from Arochukwu, and do have yourself a very beautiful weekend. Okay, so far our time would no longer permit us, but I think there is one headline I would want you to help me out with before we sign out this morning, and this talks about the Kaduna State. I can say the president has applauded the governor for Kaduna State, Ubasani, who have turned Kaduna State from toxic zone to hub of progress. Do you think this is in any way being political, or is just a fact?
Well, actually, Ubasani had so far been doing well. Not to also say that the previous administration did not do well, because the previous administration did pretty well too. So in continuation of that particular administration, Ubasani has done well, because we have not been hearing any trouble from Southern Kaduna, right? And because of that, I've also been to Kaduna recently. I've seen some certain development that is going on in Kaduna, and I think the president was right in that commendation. Yes.
All right, thank you so much indeed, our legal practitioner, for being with me this morning in the studio. It's been wonderful having you around. Thank you for your time, and thank you for all that you have helped us analyze this morning. And this is where we have to come to the end of the program this morning. For people who I was unable to take their call, sincerely apologize. And for those of you who called in, thank you very much for airing your contribution and also giving your own take on what we call national issues, because like we all say, Nigeria is the only nation we have no other country, so we must put all hands on deck to make this country work. This country must work in our favor and in the favor of our children to come. Until we come your way some other time, keep watching KAFTAN television, and may God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Have yourself a beautiful weekend.